There is a silent force that transcends physical beauty, appearances, and the masks we often wear to be accepted. A force that cannot be measured in money, fine words, or physical strength. It is an invisible yet very real field that alters the atmosphere of any place we enter. And the most surprising thing is that it already lives within you. Imagine you enter a room full of people. You don't know anyone. You don't say a single word. And yet something happens. All eyes turn towards you, as if drawn by an invisible magnet. You weren't taking any risks. You weren't seeking attention, but your mere presence began to transform the atmosphere. O listening soul, behold the invisible magnetism. True power lies not in what you show, but in what you carry within. You do not attract by what you teach the world, but by the silent vibration that emanates from your inner being. Irresistibility isn't manufactured. It's revealed. And here's the crucial question. How much of this power do you allow to flourish within you? Many believe that being attractive boils down to physical beauty, a perfect body, charismatic eloquence, and an appearance of strength. But our wise ancestors knew this. Beauty fades, eloquence is forgotten, appearances age. What remains is energy. True magnetism isn't imposed, it's felt. It doesn't need to shout, because it vibrates in silence like the sun, which doesn't need to ask permission to shine, but illuminates everything it touches, like the moon which, in its silence, mesmerizes the oceans. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you were giving too much without anyone noticing? What if you discovered that it's not about making more of an effort, but simply about learning to contain and radiate what already lives within you? Prepare yourself, because what follows is neither a seduction technique nor a miracle cure. This is an ancient code that will transform your understanding of attraction and, above all, your own energy. Let's be honest, most human beings harbor a secret desire to be seen, recognized, validated. From childhood, we are taught that to be loved, we must fulfill our obligations, prove ourselves and strive. Over time, this pattern becomes an invisible prison. How many times have you felt the need to accomplish something extraordinary, to attract attention? How many times have you dressed, spoken, or acted differently from your true nature for fear of not measuring up? It is this hidden suffering that stifles magnetism, because true attraction is born not from the emptiness it demands, but from the fullness it offers. When we desperately seek approval, our energy betrays anxiety, even silently. Our gestures, our gaze, even our breath reveal a need. And need, this listening soul, doesn't attract, it repels. Imagine someone entering a room and talking incessantly, fidgeting, seeking attention with every gesture. This person doesn't inspire attraction. They inspire exhaustion. They give the impression of being someone who is begging, someone who needs to be seen to feel alive. Now imagine the opposite. Someone who enters silently, without showing anything, but whose presence fills the space. This person is not seeking approval, because they already accept themselves. There's no need to impress, because they have complete confidence in their own worth. This person asks for nothing, and consequently receives everything. The most common mistake is believing that you have to redouble your efforts to be irresistible. But magnetism responds not to external efforts, but to inner order. Those who seek to be irresistible never will be. Those who have no need to be radiate, I ask you, how many times have you tried to impress others and ended up feeling empty? At what times in your life has the need to be accepted made you lose your own strength? The wise knew. The anxiety of approval is like a bottomless pit. No matter how much praise and compliments you shower yourself with, it will never be enough. You will always want more. Conversely, those who cultivate inner serenity become a spring that flows freely, without asking for anything in return. The paradox is clear. When we stop needing external validation, we begin to attract it naturally, because our energy ceases to be a desperate plea and becomes a silent offering. Here's the key to this journey. You don't need to seek the world's approval. You need to discover how to resonate from your inner abundance. Magnetism is neither a modern invention nor a passing fad from seduction manuals. It is a mystery that has permeated cultures, religions, and spiritual schools since the dawn of humanity. The sages of antiquity knew of it, even if they gave it different names. For them, it wasn't a game of appearances, but a powerful language capable of transforming a life and even changing the destiny of a people. In Egypt, Pharaohs and priestesses weren't venerated solely for their position. They were believed to cultivate the K, an invisible life force perceptible from afar. As they passed through the temples, the crowd bowed not out of fear, but out of respect for the intense energy emanating from them. It was neither beauty nor wealth. It was an aura. Imagine a figure enveloped in a golden glow, capable of altering the atmosphere of a place simply by its presence. That is true power. In Greece, Plato spoke of divine eros, an inner fire that was not limited to physical desire but could elevate the soul toward eternity. When this fire was channeled and transformed, it became a spiritual magnetism. Disciples were fascinated not by the appearance of their masters, but by the invisible force that resided in their words and silences. It was a sublimated eros, an energy transformed into presence. In India, tantric texts revealed that sexual energy should be neither repressed nor dispersed, but transmuted into consciousness. Kundalini, the serpent coiled at the base of the spine, was to rise like a sacred fire, awakening each energy center until it transformed into a magnetic field of light. Here, sexual magnetism was seen as a spiritual path, not as an instrument of conquest. In Tibet, monks spoke of atumus, of inner heat, an energy capable of igniting the body even in the snow, and which, spiritually, transformed into charisma, that inexplicable force that attracted people seeking inner peace. And in medieval Europe, while the church strove to silence the body, secret esoteric schools studied Coniuncius, the union of opposites, fire and water, masculine and feminine, light and shadow. They understood that the tension between opposites was not a problem, but the very driving force of magnetism. It was the art of containing the spark without extinguishing it, until it transformed into a power that attracted not only bodies, but also souls. Even in the Middle Ages, figures like Franz Anton Mesmer spoke of animal magnetism, asserting that all living beings possess an invisible fluid capable of influencing others. Although the science of his time rejected it, he planted the seed of the idea that what truly attracts is not the superficial, but the vibrational field we unconsciously project. Later, Carl Jung would take up this perspective within the framework of depth psychology, asserting that those who integrate their shadow develop a density that others perceive as an unconscious fascination. You see, different cultures, different languages, but the same essence. True magnetism lies not in what you do, but in who you are. It is the inner fire transmuted into presence. It is the mystery that remains after you are gone. And now I ask you, if your aura were visible, what would the world see today? Do you project anxiety and need, or serenity and abundance? Magnetism doesn't conquer bodies, it transforms souls. It doesn't seek external recognition. It reveals the divinity that already lives within you. And when we understand that this power was revered by pharaohs, sages, alchemists, and mystics, we realize it's not merely an ornament. It's an ancestral heritage just waiting to awaken within us. Magnetism is an art of paradoxes. And perhaps the most powerful of all is this: you attract more attention when you're absent than when you try to be everywhere. Most people believe that the secret to being irresistible lies in occupying space, talking a lot and making yourself noticed everywhere. But the truth is quite different. Magnetism does not arise from noise, but from intervals. It is not an act of excess, but of balance. To imagine a taut bow. The arrow hasn't been released yet, but all the energy is concentrated in that instant. This contained tension generates an anticipation stronger than the shot itself. This is how magnetism works, not through immediate submission, but through the restraint that desire evokes. Magnetic presence isn't about being constantly available. It's strengthened by strategic absence. When someone withdraws mid-conversation, they don't leave a void but an echo. It becomes an unfinished melody that endlessly echoes in the other person's mind. The unfinished lingers longer than the complete. One wonders, do you know how to step back and make room? Or is it about staying until the spark dies out? The human unconscious revels in incompleteness. Their finished story is forgotten, but an interrupted one keeps returning. That's the game of fascination, suggesting without revealing everything, insinuating without disclosing all, letting the mystery work its magic. Remember, what fascinates is not the obvious, but the suggestion. A fleeting, superficial glance leaves more room for interpretation than a fixed, desperate stare. A word spoken at the right moment resonates more than an endless speech. Magnetism also resides in silence. While most people feel the need to explain, justify, or impress, those with natural magnetism know how to create a calming atmosphere without saying a word. Their quietness becomes a magnet. Do you understand? Magnetism doesn't depend on what you show, but on what you are able to contain. It is the art of pausing, the mastery of the interval, the balance between presence and absence. And here is the final paradox of this section. He who gives himself entirely immediately loses all his value. Knowing how to preserve something makes it unforgettable. The question now is, what part of yourself are you overprotecting? Where could you create a sacred and mysterious space in your life? Because remember, true magnetism doesn't need explaining. It suggests itself. It doesn't occupy space with noise, but with silence. And it is precisely this space, charged with energy, that prevents others from forgetting you. Millions of people make a mistake by trying to be irresistible, by pretending to be perfect. They strive to hide their wounds, conceal their fears, and display forced smiles they don't feel, believing that this makes them more attractive. But the truth is quite different. What is repressed does not disappear. It seeps in. Carl Jung clearly stated this. What you do not consciously do becomes your destiny. What you try to hide doesn't disappear. It shows through in your words, your gestures, your energy. This mask you wear to impress others rings hollow, like a cheap costume. The unconscious mind of others perceives it and, without knowing why, distances itself. Magnetism doesn't arise from feigned light, but from accepting the shadow. Those who integrate their wounds, acknowledge their fears and aren't ashamed of them, acquire a magnetic density impossible to imitate. They cease to be superficial figures and become profound, authentic and whole human beings. Imagine a broken vase. It seems useless, but filled with liquid gold, as in the Japanese art of kintsugi, it becomes an even more precious work of art. The same is true for you. Your wounds, once accepted and integrated, do not diminish your beauty in the slightest. They make you a true magnet of authenticity. Ask yourself, what part of yourself are you hiding for fear of not being loved? What wounds do you continue to conceal instead of transforming them into inner treasure? This magnetism is felt in your breath, your gaze, the rhythm of your voice. Those who have faced their own demons exude a strength that needs no ostentation. Their mere presence says the secret is there. What you fear to reveal is, in reality, what makes you most human. And human beings always forge bonds that transcend perfection. Their vulnerability, accepted with serenity, inspires trust. And trust is the fertile ground where magnetism is born. You don't need to hide your suffering to attract others. You must transcend it. You don't need to conceal your fears. You must integrate them. When your shadow ceases to control you from within, it becomes an ally that gives you strength, depth, and substance. True magnetism is not a glittering mask. It's a deep fire. And this fire ignites when we dare to look within ourselves, to reconcile with what we once rejected. So listen carefully. Your shadow does not weaken you. It strengthens you. What is repressed secretly dominates, but what is integrated becomes magnetic. So far we have understood that magnetism does not depend on appearances, but on the invisible energy it radiates. But a crucial question arises. How do we awaken this latent energy? What you are about to discover is not a superficial technique, but ancestral rituals for cultivating magnetism from within. Each one is a portal which, if practiced, will open an infallible vibrational field. 1. Inner silence. Mental noise is the greatest enemy of magnetism. A mind agitated by scattered thoughts projects chaos outward. Conversely, those who master inner silence radiate calm in a world crying out in despair. Ritual. Dedicate at least 10 minutes a day to mindful breathing. Feel it. Inhale while counting to 4. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale for 8 seconds. This simple practice reorganizes your energy. Field. Imagine a calm lake reflecting a starry sky. That's you when your mind is at peace. Key phrase 1. Silence is the soul's magnet. 2. It contains vital energy. Most people dissipate their sexual energy in the pursuit of immediate pleasure. But the wise have always known what is contained transforms into an inner flame. This isn't about repression, but transmutation, about ritual. The next time you feel a strong urge, don't rush to release it. Take a deep breath. Focus that breath on your heart. Feel that energy rising in a spiral. This act of mastery transforms urgency into power. Imagine, visualize a sun in your solar plexus which, instead of exploding, condenses into a luminous field around you. Key phrase: repressed desire transforms into magnetism. 3. Total presence. Magnetism lies not in the quantity of actions, but in their totality. When you speak, do so with your whole being. When you look, look without distraction. When you listen, do so as if nothing else exists. Make it a habit. Practice having a conversation every day while focusing entirely on the person you're talking to. No mobile phone, no interruptions, no need to think about what to say. Just a presence. Imagine a concentrated beam of light piercing the darkness. This is who you are when you are fully present. Key phrase: presence is the most precious gift. For conscious mystery, the obvious is forgotten. The suggested remains. Magnetism resides in incompleteness, in what awakens the imagination of the other. It is not about manipulation, but about knowing how to preserve sacred space. Ritual: try to speak a little less than usual. Leave some moments of silence. Don't reveal everything all at once. Leave it to others to mentally complete what you have only suggested. Imagine a moon behind the clouds which, even hidden, is more fascinating than the midday sun. Key phrase: incompleteness awakens more desire than certainty. 5. Radical authenticity. Authenticity is the rarest and most captivating fragrance. Most people try to be someone else to be accepted, but this breeds mistrust. Those who show themselves as they truly are, without a mask, inspire confidence and trust. Ritual: ask yourself every day, what gesture, what word, what attitude do I adopt to please others? And not because it is actually the case. So, forget it. Take off a disguise every day. Imagine robust oak that doesn't need to resemble any other tree to be majestic. Key phrase: authenticity is the fragrance of a magnetic soul. 5 rituals. 5 keys to awaken your magnetism. 1. Cultivate inner silence. 2. Master your life energy. 3. Live fully in the present moment. 4. Explore the mystery with full awareness. 5. Embody radical authenticity. There's no need to apply everything at once. Start with just one. Keep it on for 7 days. Feel the change in your vibration. You'll see how your environment reacts differently, without you having to ask for it. These are thought-provoking questions. How much of your energy are you wasting without realizing it? What would happen if you spoke less but with more heart? What is more attractive? What you show or what you still hide? Because ultimately, remember, magnetism cannot be learned. He awakens. And these rituals are a call to awaken what has always been within you. We have reached the deepest point of this journey. And this is where I must reveal to you the fundamental paradox of magnetism. He who implores attraction loses it. He who does not need it radiates it effortlessly. Magnetism doesn't arise from a void to be filled, but from overflowing abundance. He who moves through the world with serenity, without seeking to impress or conquer, becomes a center of attraction. His energy structures space. His mere presence sows chaos. Imagine walking into a room without worrying about being accepted. He needs neither fine words nor to show off in any way. You feel it, you breathe it in, and your calm begins to transform the atmosphere. Eyes turn towards you, not because they're looking for you, but because your energy speaks louder than any words. It's the true magnet. Ask yourself, what if you tried to be irresistible and gave up on your own fulfillment? How would your life change if you understood that you don't have to chase anything, because what resonates within you comes naturally? Magnetism isn't a strategy. It's a state of mind. It's not about doing, but about being. It's not noise. It's silence. This is not about urgency, but about calm. And here's the revelation. When you don't need to conquer, you become a born conqueror. When we don't seek approval, it comes to us. When we don't seek it, the universe itself revolves around us. That's the ultimate paradox. Abundance is more attractive than scarcity. Calm shines brighter than despair. Mystery resonates more than obviousness. True magnetism doesn't attack bodies. It awakens souls. Magnetism isn't a secret to be learned. It's an energy to be awakened. And I'd like to share with you a 7-day ritual to begin today and continue throughout next week. 1. Give yourself 10 minutes of silence each day. 2. Breathe before reacting to any impulse. 3. Look your interlocutor in the eyes at all times. 4. Speak less but with more intention. 5. Accept a part of your shadow self and be grateful for it. 6. Do something in accordance with your true nature, even if it's small. 7. Remember this every night. The irresistible already resides within me. And now I ask you, are you ready to vibrate at full speed? If this message resonated with you, share this video and leave a comment. I awaken my magnetism. The universe will respond.